Next, we will discuss and summarize the permittee's responsibilities after implementing the Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan. The permit describes several permittee responsibilities, so it is important to read the permit language carefully. The permit requires that the permittee review the Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan annually after it is developed and maintain written summaries of the reviews. The annual report is the written summary of how the Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan is working, what changes were made, and why. Be sure to include any spills that may have occurred since the time of the last review, how they were cleaned up, and the changes made to prevent a recurrence of the spill. Schedule a time to perform your annual plan review and to develop your annual report. There is a Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan checklist available on the website to assist you in reviewing the Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan. Permittees are required to submit the annual report on or before January 10th of each year. Keeping records and reporting events that occur on site is an effective way of tracking the progress of the pollution prevention efforts. Reviewing these records can provide some useful information for developing improved controls for problem areas. Record keeping and reporting represent good operating practices because they can increase the efficiency of the facility and the effectiveness of the controls. All records should be kept with the Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan and must be retained for at least 3 years. The following records are required to be maintained for 3 years: routine inspection reports, comprehensive site inspection reports, visual assessment reports, employee training records, and annual reports. In addition to retaining records at the facility, the stormwater permits require reporting for some specific circumstances. If there is noncompliance with the permit or other water quality regulations, the noncompliance must be reported to EGLE Water Resources Division District Supervisor. When stormwater is discharged to the surface waters of the state, there shall be no violation of the water quality standards in the receiving waters as a result of this discharge. This requirement includes, but is not limited to, the following conditions. The receiving waters shall not have any of the following unnatural physical properties in quantities which are or may become injurious to any designated use. Unnatural turbidity, color, oil film, floating solids, foams, settlable solids, suspended solids, or deposits as a result of this discharge. In any instance of noncompliance with the requirements of federal or state water quality regulations, the written reporting shall include a description of the discharge and the cause of the noncompliance, the period of noncompliance, including dates and times, the steps taken to minimize the impact, and the steps taken to prevent reoccurrence of the unauthorized discharge. All instances of noncompliance shall be reported as follows. Any noncompliance which may endanger health or the environment shall be reported verbally within 24 hours from the time the permittee becomes aware of the circumstances. In addition, a written submission shall also be provided within 5 days. All other instances of noncompliance, such as not having a certified operator, shall be reported within 5 days from the time the permittee becomes aware of the noncompliance. The permittee shall immediately report any spill or loss of any polluting material which occurs to the surface waters or groundwaters of the state. During regular business hours, contact EGLE District Office staff. The phone numbers for stormwater contact in the district office staff can be found on the Industrial Stormwater webpage. Make sure you talk to someone and don't just leave a voicemail. If the spill occurs after business hours, call the EGLE 24-hour Pollution Emergency Alerting System phone number. If there is a spill of polluting material that does not reach the waters of the state, and there is no immediate danger to the environment or public's health, the submittal of the written report is required within 10 days instead of 5. Within 10 days of the spill or loss, the permittee shall submit to EGLE Water Resources Division District Supervisor a full written explanation of the cause, discovery, cleanup, and recovery measures taken, and preventative measures to be taken with a schedule for implementation. Non-stormwater discharges that are not listed in the permit are unauthorized discharges. By signing the notice of intent, the permittee is certifying that there are no unauthorized non-stormwater discharges. Discharges of wastewater other than stormwater must be authorized by other NPDES permits. Examples of these discharges are mine dewatering, hydrostatic pressure test water, process waste water, vehicle wash water, treated groundwater, air compressor condensate, and floor drain discharges. Some non-stormwater discharges may be authorized by the stormwater permit, provided pollution prevention controls are identified in the Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan. Authorized non-stormwater discharges include discharges from fire hydrant flushing, potable water sources including waterline flushing, fire system test water, irrigation drainage, lawn watering, routine building washdown which does not use detergents or other compounds, pavement wash waters where spills or leaks of toxic or hazardous materials have not occurred unless all spilled material has been removed, and where detergents are not used. Air conditioning condensate, springs, uncontaminated groundwater, and foundation or footing drains where flows are not contaminated with processed materials such as solvents. Discharges from firefighting activities are authorized by this permit, but do not have to be identified in the Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan. If industrial activity has ceased, and all industrial materials and activities are no longer exposed to stormwater, then permit coverage is no longer required. At this time, the permittee may request termination of the permit via MyWaters. All significant material that have the potential to be exposed to stormwater runoff must be removed from the facility before the authorization is terminated. It is the responsibility of the permittee to request termination in a timely manner to allow for processing prior to January 1st. Any facility with stormwater coverage as of January 1st will be required to pay the annual permit fee. If there is any change in tenant or ownership of the facility, the permittee shall notify the succeeding owner or tenant of the existence of the permit in writing. A transfer of coverage form must be completed in MyWaters 30 days prior to the actual transfer. There are several permittee responsibilities in addition to the preparation and implementation of the Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan. It is essential for the permittee and the certified operator to read the permit that authorizes the discharge of stormwater from the facility. The industrial stormwater certified operator is a valuable asset to the facility's operations if they have a thorough knowledge of the stormwater permit requirements.